Starve your distractions and feed your focus. It's so easy to become distracted nowadays, and if you're not consciously trying to avoid the distractions, they'll consume your time and energy without you even realizing it. In this video, I'll share with you 3 Notion productivity planners which you can use each day, week and month in order to consciously steer your life in accordance with your goals. You'll be able to find these 3 productivity planners through the first link in the description. Now let's get started with the first one, being the daily planner. At the top of the daily planner, you have the date section where you can just type in add today in order to add today's date. And then on the left, you have your daily schedule where you can plan and time block your day ahead so you know what needs to get done and when. Then underneath, you have a section where you can add everything you want to do today with a checkbox that you can check off to get that sweet dopamine hit. And if you want to add more tasks, then simply click the button at the bottom. Then on the right, you can add your daily intention, allowing you to consciously decide how you want your day to go. You can write down 3 affirmations, which will help you get rid of any self-limiting beliefs. You can add 3 things you're grateful for, which is super important because if you're not grateful for what you have, what makes you think you will be with more? And then you can also write down 3 things that would make the day great, so you know what you want to get out of the day. And then next, you have an area where you can add the book that you're currently reading, because everybody should be reading, learning and acquiring new knowledge every single day. And then at the bottom, you have a section where you can add the habits that you're currently trying to develop, as it's ultimately your habits that's going to get you from point A to point B. And then lastly, we have a section for reflecting back on the day itself, as reflecting on what you've learned is an important part of the process. Now let's move on to the weekly planner. For this one, once again, we have the date section at the top where you can mention today's date. And then underneath, we have a weekly schedule where you can plan your week ahead and write down any important tasks, events, meetings or appointments that you got coming up. Then on the right, you can add your weekly intention, the goal for the book that you're currently reading, your weekly goals that you want to achieve, and then also your weekly tasks that you need to do in order to achieve your goals. At the bottom of the weekly planner, you have a section to write down everything you're proud of accomplishing this week, a section for all the areas that you need to improve upon for the following week, and then also a section for reflecting back on the week itself. Now moving on to the third and final productivity planner, we have the monthly planner. Inside of this one, again, we have the date section at the top where you can mention today, and then you also have week 1, 2, 3 and 4 where you can list out what you'll be focusing on for each week, so you can take a proactive approach for the month ahead and decide up front where you're going to focus your attention and energy. And then underneath, we also have the same to-do list as the other planners. On the right, you can set your monthly intention as well as 3 monthly goals for your health, wealth, relationships and spirituality. And then you can also write down and reinforce your main yearly goals for each of them. Then at the bottom, you can write down your monthly achievements, the areas you need to improve upon for the following month, as well as a section for reflecting back on the month itself. When you duplicate this template, you'll see you have a section containing 3 guides for the 3 planners, describing what everything is for, how to use it, and with some examples. Then you have your 3 productivity planners, each with a button that will load a new version of that planner, and an archive page where you can drop the planner into when you're done. There's also a calendar which has these 3 planners as template buttons, so you can simply add a new day and click on the daily planner, create a new weekly planner and extend it throughout the whole week, and do the same with a monthly planner and extend it throughout the whole month. You can also turn on the recurring template feature for the daily planner, so it will automatically add a new daily planner each day at a specific time. And in order to do this, simply click on the menu button next to the template button, click on repeat daily, choose the start date and the time you want to duplicate it, and then just click save. You can also do this with the weekly and monthly planners, where you just have to make sure to choose the weekly or monthly option when setting up the recurring template button. Now if you want to add these to your personal dashboard, then simply move the callout boxes into your dashboard. And as for the calendar, you want to go to your personal calendar, open up the database menu and change the source to the productivity calendar. If you don't have the source option, it means that you're using an original database and you need to create a linked view. So for example, here I have my original task database, which doesn't have a source option. And if I copy the link and paste it as a linked view, I can go into the database menu and now find the source option. So all you want to do is just simply create a new view on your main calendar and change the source option to the productivity calendar database. And that's pretty much it. If you're still watching, feel free to grab these productivity planners through the first link in the description, and make sure to check out this next video showing you how to use Notion to manage your income, expenses and subscriptions.